Hey y'all, what is going on? This is Jesse Bose from the 19th hole. I've got the rookie video guide here for you all. This is a video that is comprised of videos from past tournaments, and you will notice me using Golf Clash Notebook and crosshairs, which is something I used to use. I don't use those anymore, so that's just why you see them here on these videos, just in case you wondered. So hole 1, par 3 is what we're going to start out with. Wood club, either your sniper or your viper here would be good, plus 15% for your wind. Either power 0, power 1 ball. Here we're going to play this shot here at max, pretty much almost max adjustment. We're going to leave ourselves just enough room to make our adjustment of 2 rings. With a headwind, we're playing with 3 bars of backspin. With a tailwind, you'll play with more backspin, and you may have to adjust those spins as needed depending on the wind that you have for your hole this tournament. So we make our adjustment here for 2 rings, which is right at about the max distance of this club. And we hit this one perfect. You're going to see the ball come in a little bit short here. So from there, playing this shot the same way, we could take a little bit more of that backspin off and try to dial in that shot a little bit more. And that's really what it comes down to, figuring out your spin, dialing in shots. All right, moving on to hole number 2, we got a par 5 for you all. I'm playing this one with the Titan ball. And I'm playing this with the quarterback. You can also play it with an extra mile, though, as well. And we'll play the drive at plus 10%. We're going downhill. We want to adjust our spin so we have the tip of that ball guide just going over the edge of that bunker. With the quarterback, I'm not going to make any adjustment for my wind. I'm just going to use the wind to my advantage. And I'm just kind of eyeballing by pushing into overpower where I expect that ball to land to figure out the spin for this shot. A little bit of curl, about 2/3 of a ball of curl. As you see, this ball bounces nicely over and down the fairway. Don't use too much topspin here because you don't want to roll through this fairway into that rough. Definitely want to make sure that we don't do that. For this next shot here, we're playing at 0% with the big dog, and the spin that you're going to use on this second shot will definitely depend on your position off your drive. So we're pretty close to the end of the fairway on our drive, so we're playing this shot with no spins whatsoever. We're just going to play the shot off the fairway and try to aim it towards the hole as best as we can. We play a slight offset for a left to right tailwind, and then we're going to make our adjustments here at max distance. If you are farther back on the fairway on your drive, then you may need to add a little bit of topspin to the shot to get it to the green. So definitely pay attention to your location and keep that in mind that you may need a little bit more topspin to get the shot to the green if you are not as far as I was. As you see, good speed. It came in a little bit left of where we were hoping, and maybe we'll just play that one a little bit more straight up at the hole next time. Hole number 3 here, par 4, must eagle in my opinion. Plus 10% for the drive here. I'm going to use the extra mile, and the spin will depend on the wind. Here we're going to use our max top spin here, and I would say power 1, power 2 ball. Whatever ball keeps you in position to be able to drop this shot onto that fairway. Otherwise, you're really close to being in between clubs. So 3.3 max adjustment plus 10% is how we played this one with the Marlin. Max top and right spin with the level 5 extra mile. Get the nice bounce. We did a great left, but we still do catch the edge of the rough line right there. A perfect shot would have been much more on line with the hole. And you can play that one with a quarterback as well if you have a tailwind and you have at least 3 bars of topspin. Otherwise, stick with the extra mile, get that extra topspin for that shot. Hole number 4 here, par 3. We're playing this one with the Viper. You could also use a sniper here as well. We're going with the Quasar ball, and we're going with just about 2 bars of backspin here. And we're going to be aiming this shot towards the hole. We got the red ring on the rough line here with this shot going right towards the hole. So we're going to make our adjustment here now. We'll play plus 10% on the adjustment here on this hole in the rookie. We get this one perfect, and you're going to see this one come in nicely, pretty much right in line with the hole. And maybe just a touch maybe off that backspin right there, and we would have hit that one for the ace. Hole number 5, par 4. I'm going to show you 2 different routes here on this hole. No matter which way you play off the tee box, you're going to play plus 10%. I definitely recommend at least the extra mile on this hole, either playing it to the left or to the right. And as far as the ball goes here, quasar ball will work going to the left, but if you're going to play the shot to the right, like I'll show you in a little while, I would definitely go with a Titan ball. So we're going to go with a little bit of top spin, a little bit of right spin here. I know some people prefer to play left spin here as well, and that is definitely quite okay. We're going with a half a ball of left curl here, and we're just going to bounce right over this bunker and rough and right onto that fairway, and that's going to set us up in a good spot. Don't use too much topspin on this shot because you don't want to go through and into the rough. For the second shot here, we're playing this one at 0% towards the green. I recommend either a Saturn, you can go with a backbone as well. If you feel like you're going to have issues with being in between clubs, not enough distance, then maybe a Goliath would be a better option here. I like the Saturn because I like the extra backspin that it gives me. It gives me a little bit more control to really go at this hole. And that's why I like the quasars, because you want that side spin on the shot to be able to really give yourself a good chance to go at this shot. We make our adjustment here for the wind, 0% for the second shot, like I said, and we hit great. So, we're not going to drop it, but, it's still a good chance to drop this one with a perfect and a good adjustment at this hole. So I'm going to show you now a way to play this one to the right-hand side with a power curl shot here. This is an extra mile 5 with a Titan ball. We're just going to eyeball our landing zone in the direction of the wind, ahead of our shot circle here. We're going to go 10, 11 rings. We went 11 rings with the extra mile 5, full top spin and left spin, and it's going to be a complete overpower curl shot here with maximum amount of hook. As you can see, it's going to come around, it's going to hit the fairway, it'll bounce over the rough and roll up the fairway that way, and put us in a really nice position for a second shot at the hole. So I'm playing this one at -5%. This is an uphill shot. I would probably change that. The closer you get up to the hole to, maybe a little bit higher of a distance, from back here, I like the 5%, 0, 5%, but you get closer up that fairway to the hole, then you may want to go with a little bit more of an adjustment for going uphill. Playing this one right here at in between min and mid on this shot. Good chance to hold this one right here with a perfect ball. We hit great right. And as you see, we come close to the shot, but we were a little bit farther off than we would like. Hole number 6 here, par 5. And I'm going to be playing this one with the extra mile. We'll be playing plus 20% for the elevation change off the tee box, and then we'll play a 0% for our second shot. So extra mile with the driver, and then I would say, big dog, or if you have a higher level Viper or Sniper, then you could definitely use those in the rookie. But I think most people in the rookie, I think your big dog's going to be your best option. I would say at least a power 2 ball on this drive as well. And, trying to find a spot with max right spin and pretty much max top spin with the extra mile 5. We're going to need to use curl on this shot as well. And it's actually, in my opinion, it's a little bit more difficult of a hole to play in the rookie because you don't have that extra curl on this club. So we're going to use our max curl. As you see, we hit pretty nicely in the middle of that fairway and we bounce out. We do hit the rough and we do roll into the fairway. So, maybe line up that shot a little bit farther to the, mid-right edge of that first fairway area where you're bouncing. Just to try to get the shot a little bit farther, closer to that bunker. So the second shot here, from my location, you definitely want a big dog. I would be way short if I had the Viper here, as you can see. So for that reason, we're going to have to go with a little bit more topspin than we normally would want to go with on this shot. But if you are farther back in the fairway, you do need to use that topspin to make sure you get that second bounce to that fairway section. If you hit the rough, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to have a very long chip, and a chip that is not one that you want to have to try to make. Do be careful on right curl there as well, because those trees will come into play. So you have to be very careful with your curl amount that you use. And we actually hit that one pretty good. That's a really good position to be in, considering how far back in the fairway we were. Hole 7, par 3.
Sorry, I couldn't find anything like that.
Hole 7, par 3 here. We're going to be playing this one with the Goliath. You could also use the backbone. If you use the backbone, as you see, you got to land your shot a little bit farther back in the fairway. So we're going to go to the Goliath, and we'll put the red ring right there along the edge of the rough line. We're going to use max right spin and 2 bars of backspin here for this shot. You want the second bounce to be right there along the edge of the fringe line. And we're going to have to use a little bit of right curl here as well on this shot. So we're playing this shot pretty much right at maximum adjustment for the wind with this shot. And I really do suggest at least a wind 3 ball for this hole with the for its spin. A little bit of right curl. We hit this one perfect. It's going to come in quite nicely, and maybe with a little tiny bit of extra curl, we would have had a little bit better of a chance on this one. Still, tough hole to ace, and it's going to be one that you could possibly dial in, but it's going to be a tough ace. Hole 8 here, par 4. You're going to see me play this one with a Titan ball and an extra mile 5. You could also use a big topper here if you don't have the top spin needed for this shot. If I was going to use the big topper, I was going to have to overpower that shot. So for that reason, I just stuck with the extra mile. And, you really like about at least 5+ bars of topspin for this shot with a tailwind. But we're going to make this one work. So we adjust and overpower, and then we're going to adjust our shot back for the wind. 1.5 rings. We know from there we don't need really that much overpower on this shot. We're going to use our full left curl with the extra mile 5. And we hit this one well. It's going to bounce, it's going to hit the rough, and we're actually going to get a pretty close zoom in here on this shot. We almost put this one in the hole. So if you want to go with the big topper and you don't want to worry about overpowering it, then you're going to have to go to something other than a power 3 ball. Alright, hole number 9, our last and final hole, a par 5. I'm playing this one with the big topper, but you could also use your extra mile here. I definitely recommend a power 3 ball, for sure. And it actually looks like I switched to the extra mile. The reason why I would have done that is because I prefer the accuracy of the club over the distance of the top spin. I think the accuracy on this shot is the most important thing. So we're going like half overpower there, as you can see, to a point where I still feel comfortable with hitting the perfect, because I want to get the maximum distance on this drive to give myself a good chance to get to the green in 2 on my second shot. That's another reason why the Titan ball is important for the second shot. The drive is, the drive is 0%. The second shot is, I'm playing it at plus 5%. So we're going to go max right spin. We're going to go with just about 1 bar of top spin here for this shot. And the amount of topspin will also depend on where you're at in the fairway. So farther back in the fairway, you'll need more topspin. We're about a half ball curl to the right here. And as you're going to see, we're going to get the ball up here pretty good towards the green. A little bit more right curl and a little bit more topspin would have had us on the green going towards the hole. So, definitely make adjustments. And it's, very important to keep track of how you play the hole. Then you can make small adjustments along the way and throughout the week to hopefully by that weekend round have it dialed into a point where you have a really good chance to get all these extra drops. So right there you see we get the short iron and we get the eagle there on that hole. So thank you very much, y'all, for hanging out. Definitely appreciate it. If y'all check us out on Facebook at Golf Clash the 19th Hole, hit that sub button, hit that thumbs up button, and set those notifications so that you can receive updates when I release new videos. Have a good day, and God bless.